So namaste, namastizzle, peace and many blessings. Greetings. What's up? Shalom. Hopefully, I had a good weekend. Having a good day on this day of Mars. I got a little bit of red on, but today is blood red, the color. Mars is the planet of war, aggression, and lust. So today would be the day to get those kinds of rituals in. I am Magic LaCroix. Talking about hot, it is a hot motherfucker today. Beginning of June, and this is when it just started. We are going to have some hot summer. We didn't have much of a winter again this year. So maybe next year every couple of years we get a bad winter, but it hasn't happened in a couple of years. Matter of fact, it hasn't happened since we had that winter storm in 21. So yeah, let's see who's in the chat. Greetings, Melanin Mommy. How are you doing? Don't forget to hit that like button, share and subscribe on your way in. um, there's always something happening, right? But what's going on, Melanin Mommy? What's going on in your part of town? I think you said California, right? Um, California is where I learned how to drive, you know, but couldn't pay me to live there though. It's Democrat state. Uh, let's see, what have I saved here? Yeah. They say pride cometh before a fall. Here's a prime example of that. This is something that we should all embrace, and keep in mind. I think pride is one of the seven deadly sins. Uh, it just really applies to a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Arrogance goes along with it. Watch the movie Seven with Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman. But pride cometh before a fall. Remember that time the video went viral of them two Caucasian women actually, celebrating right before they hit the finish line. But before they hit the finish line, the black woman came up and passed them and won the race. Pride cometh before the fall. Here's a perfect example. Oh, this guy should be. I'm gonna let it play again, just in case you didn't see that. I don't do that, boy. No. Oh, this guy should be. Look at him sitting there bragging, showing off. Loses the race. Funny, but not funny at the same time. Pride cometh before a fall. And like I said, it applies to a lot of things, one of the things that if you are trying to get into the occult or magic or whatever you want to call it, or however you want to phrase it, is that your ego has to be destroyed. That is the purpose. That's one of the main purposes of actually traveling along this path. Ego. Now, you may need a certain amount of ego, but thinking you're better than someone else, or just arrogant, or just an asshole-ish, and spirituality, they just truly do not go together. You know what I'm saying? I take you to one of my favorite books of all time is Tarot Star. I love the way he writes because he writes in Old English. And I don't even think they teach this in school anymore, But one of the things he says is right in the beginning. He says, as a student of the occult, the first lesson to be learned is never really expounded upon in the many books on the subject available on the market today. That lesson is the ability to apply one's energy to a project and carried through to its conclusion. Self-discipline cannot be neglected in trying to gain mastery in the occult arts and sciences. Modern society seems to take responsibility away from the individual and allows anyone to place blame for shortcomings on everything or everyone outside, rather than where the responsibility really rests with the individual concerned. Excuses for non-performance and shortcomings are allowed to be the order of the day. You may meet with those who claim to be adept in the occult, but will find them to be consistently tardy in appointments, undisciplined in life habits, unwilling or unable to keep their word, and possibly devoted to hallucinogenics. Such types will never amount to any kind of power in the occult arts. Many such follow or profess to be students of the late Aleister Crowley. Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law leads, but to naught as far as becoming an adept is concerned. That is why one finds so few wizards and accomplished sorcerers in the world today. Occultism requires a finely tuned vehicle in the subject of the mind and body. It demands of the student time and effort and much blood, sweat, and tears before one can call himself even a minor adept. Occultism can teach one the power to move the world and cause the universe to arrange itself according to the practitioner's will, but such requires a tremendous effect and stamina that very few in this day and age possess. When a task is laid before you to do so, see it through to its finished conclusion. When you give your word to a person, see that it is kept, no matter how difficult or inconvenient. Keep your life in order, allowing time for all things in their proper places. Set your mind to a regimen for your lessons and stick to it daily. Avoid any temporary trips with drugs because they only weaken the will to succeed. Apply the will to all manners that require attention. If you have a competent teacher in the occult, give yourself over to the discipline required and follow the program for your development without flinching. Some lessons are hard for a reason. If you are able to apply the will to succeed in the matters of your learning and can benefit from the teachings, you can and will become a power and a force in a metaphysical world. This book, The Witch's Spellcraft, Revised by Tarot Star, one of my favorite occult authors. Now, he said a mouthful with this. You know what I'm saying? You still got a lot of people, remember, discernment. You still got a lot of people claiming to be adepts in the occult, you know, and a lot of people have brought the arts and sciences down to a level that they understand. So they dumb it down. You know, I spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? True discipline is required to be an adept in the occult sciences, no matter what people say about it being all in your head or it's just all in your body. And that's all they talking about. It's bull fucking shit. So saith Magick LaCroix. Peace, brother Kunami. Peace, Legacy Sigma. Peace and blessings. Aloha, Masheri. Peace and blessings, Diana Nichols. Peace, 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 brother Caribbean Grimoire. Oh, thanks. Shout out to Caribbean Grimoire for giving me that book by Michael Cacciatelli, Angel something. But that's a gem. Thank you so much. Shout out to brother Konami also for giving me the books from damn it. The God 720. And hello, Tosh. What's going on? How are you living? It is a hot one again in Texas. 95 degrees already. It's the beginning of June. So you can imagine what August is going to be like. You know what I'm saying? But back on the topic, pride cometh before a fall. Usually, before a fall of a civilization, the entire civilization is at its worst. You know what I mean? The decadence and depravity is everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The people who run this place are very prideful. They're very arrogant, and they like to play with people's lives. You know what I'm saying? It's just a mess everywhere you look. You got the youth actually more retarded than I've ever seen. Now, I hate to say that, but it's true. I mean, only these youth, I've never seen people who wear hoodies in 90+ degree weather. That is the dumbest shit ever. You can die like that. You can have a heat stroke. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I used to think, like, when I was in El Paso, I was in my late 20s, early 30s. And I used to think, even though that was El Paso and the weather wasn't quite like where I'm at now, I wore Timberlands because back then I was still rocking Timberlands back then. You know what I'm saying? And I finally grew out of that mindset. Like, why am I wearing Timberlands in Texas? You know what I mean? Even though in Philadelphia it's a thing and you grow up wearing them in all seasons. That's but I had to realize this is Texas. You know what I'm saying? Can't walk around with stinky feet. You know what I mean? Um, a lot of my pride and a lot of ego had to be extinguished in order for me to advance in this art. You see what I mean? It takes a lot, like I said, it takes a lot of discipline to do this kind of work. And a lot of people, they don't ever actually work on their ego. That's a major part of shadow work. See what I'm saying? Shout out to Caribbean for saying a PDF existed, forced me to search a little harder until I found it. Right. Thank you so much, man. That is a great grimoire. It is, but then again, shout out to Caribbean Grimoire again. I mean, he has given me some gems and I really appreciate it. What's the name of it again is it is trying to think. Give me a second. I'm getting older. I just moved it to books. It's books on angels. He's also the one who wrote the Gnostic Grimoire, the Book of Abrasax. So, Holy Guardian Angel by Michael Secchitelli. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm big on pronouncing things correctly because I'm just anal like that as a Virgo, But this is that book. The Holy Guardian Angel. Pick this book up. This is it right here. Okay. He also made wrote the book Crossed Keys on the practice and experience of the Holy Guardian Angel. This is also referred to as your higher self. And Aleister Crowley spoke about this extensively in his workings. You know what I mean? It's a good book, though. He spoke about joining with the Holy Guardian Angel to ascend spiritually. You know what I mean? Once you do start you start to lose friends too. Once you get rid of that ego, or not completely get rid of it, just diminish it. You know what I'm saying? Again, it requires a certain level of discernment to see who's real, who's not. Okay? I'm always going to say that. Always. You know what I mean? All right. Let's get into this real quick. Give me a second here while I pull this video up. This video may, I don't know, it may sound a little off. If so, I apologize in advance. But just listen to what the elder says here. Okay? We good? Let's roll.
United States. But the key to that is that these things have been going on all over the world, and they haven't been reporting them to you. And of course, it's been dealing with this planet called Nibiru. How many people know what Nibiru is? I know some of y'all have to know. The Dr. York had a community in Georgia. Nibirian Transmissions Part 1, I deal with that, but I'm going to update you on that a little here. And he, sound is good? Good. He
2003.
is in jail for 12 years. On the video, I actually show his testimony, testifying, saying that he did the child molestation, whether he's under mind control or whatever. But the point is that they need to have him locked down for those 12 years, dealing with some energy that's dealing with you right here, the X-Men. That's who you are. When they do these particular movies, such as X-Men, Matrix, these fictitious movies, these movies are dealing with African science, dealing with who you are on a spiritual plane. The physical body, we know, is not going to live that long, 80 years, 100 years at the most. Your spirit never changes. From the time you were 8 years old, you're still that same person. It doesn't age. Only your body does. That should tell you something. And so what we're going to do here is get into the science of self and deprogramming all the mind control that's been going on. We're going to deprogram the Cartoon Network. We're going to get to the science of superheroes. And we're also going to deal with mind control. Mind control. Now, there's a few things that went on. First of all, I announced the ritual in Buffalo. And the ritual that I announced was the lecture took place on the solstice, which was the 12th, which is the opposite of today, 21st, which is the full moon tonight. And we did that particular ritual. I called for a galactic orgy at that particular lecture on that particular night, sexual energy. And today, for the purpose of this particular tape, I'm calling for the same galactic orgy on October, my girlfriend going, on October 31st. Okay, there's plenty of time to find your woman or find your man or whatever you got to do for this particular energy. And it's going to bring you positive things. But we want to perform this particular ritual on October 31st, which we know as Halloween. And the day after Halloween is Samhain. Samhain. 31st is 13 backwards. It's on a Friday. Okay? So, galactic orgy on October 31st from 12 to 1. 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. in the morning, which is Samhain. Okay? Now, we did this ritual on the 12th, the 21st of last month, which was the solstice, the summer solstice, which is a very powerful energy for black people. Prior to that, the sun wasn't coming out. It was very cold. It was always raining all along the East Coast and most parts of the United States. Floods. So, that particular ritual that we did was a symbol of things to come.
So stop it there. Realize what he just said there. He said, from the time you are 8, you never change. Your spirit doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? Your body does. Spirit doesn't. Okay? A lot of the old grandmasters live long, healthy lives. You know, take care of the temple. They're absolutely correct. But you also got to take care of your spirituality. You also got to take care of your mental health. You know, never in a time of history have I seen people running around with mental illnesses now, and it's actually encouraged. Okay, and he did that ritual. I have it somewhere. It's called the Science of Superman, where he did a ritual on Halloween. Okay, most of the time he did rituals that would help the masses. Right? Like his Galactic Nightmare lecture was about the masses. He said every time you played that tape, it would cause our enemies to hurt themselves. You know what I'm saying? So this is an example of taking pride all out of it and doing something to help the collective. Okay? Help the collective. There's not many people out here who do that. Most people out here trying to get some ass, trying to get money, and worried about their own selves. Okay. That's why I say pride cometh before a fall. Yep, Holy Guardian Angel. We hit the Sodom and Gomorrah cycle back during Obama's presidency. Now we have to live through the upswing and the subsequent downfall. Tosh said a word there. Thank you, Tosh, for saying it. I totally agree with you. Totally agree. What's going on, Rayshawn Justice? Peace. Stay high. You stay high. Supreme McCoy, what it do? Much respect. Moonchild making, October 31st. Okay. My Cherie, Moonchild. Okay. Maroon Beauty. This is why you should homeschool your child for the first 7, 8 years of life. Totally agree with it. What's up, Katrina? Namaste. You know what I'm saying? I agree. My core values and morals were set at 8. I totally agree. If you can remember that's another disturbing thing to me, though. Most people can't remember their childhood. Shit, most people can't remember what they did yesterday. These, I think, in my opinion, are clones. So you should be able to pinpoint when you were 8. You should be able to pinpoint that. Okay? You should be able to pinpoint that. Just saying. You know what I mean? The depravity and the decadence continues during the social media age, just like Tosh said. The subsequent downfall of society is when you do things to children that should be set for adults. See what I'm saying? Let's go to a clip that, of course, my good friend Katrina sent me. When I saw this, I was sick to my stomach. I was literally sick to my stomach. I said, "You've got to be kidding me. Like, are you kidding me?" And where did it go? Oh, there we go. Oh, check this out. This baby is 3 years old. 3. Okay? 3. She's 3. Keep that in mind. 3.
Small world, all the friends know me.
I don't need that. You see that? She's 3. He's pouring liquor on her. Dora pause. Some of the comments, of course, some of the comments are justifying this. This baby is 3. Okay? 3 years old. It continues. It just continues. What's my thoughts on Nibiru? Nibiru has been orbiting our planet for years. Okay. There's some of course there are people on that planet. There's a lot that I could say on Nibiru. As a matter of fact, what I think I'm going to do, since you asked that question, if you're a member of my Patreon, I have a DVD on Nibiru, okay? And what the theories are about its origin and everything else. I'm going to put that on Patreon, okay? There's too much that I could say about it here, and I'm only here for like an hour. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas take this shit too far and think they're getting superpowers because it passes in our orbit. But then again, that's the conscious community thinking shit like that, you know. But in one of the Star Trek movies, one of the modern Star Trek movies, they show Nibiru in the very first scene. I think Kirk is running away from some inhabitants of the planet. You know what I mean? My thoughts on galactic knowledge period could I would be here for some hours if I was to talk about all of it, you know. But there's still people here who think that we still here. We're the highest life forms. You know what I mean? There's so much out there. Okay. The X-Files told you the truth is out there. Okay. You have to be willing to, I mean, it's all documented, it's all on video, all of it. You know, it's also referred to as Planet X. Okay. The thought that the Sumerians thought that the gods came from planet Nibiru. Okay. So honestly, there's some truth to that there. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's a very deep subject that I just don't have the time to go through here. Okay. But like I said, I'm going to convert the DVD that I have. It's called Planet X. I'll convert that and I'll put it in Patreon. I hope I answered some of your questions. I know I didn't really answer it, but yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, why? Pause it. Pause it. I swear, most people don't need to have kids, just more traumatized souls. Exactly. That's why I say it just continues. You know what I'm saying? It just continues. The decadence. It's just like the decadence. The fucking Sodom and Gomorrah is here. You know what I mean? Everything goes here. And look, as much as a lot of us try to say, leave these fucking kids alone, and that includes the alphabet community, one member of the alphabet community even said it. Let's look at it. Let's look exactly what he said. Shout out to Katrina. She sent me this one also. She knew I was going to show this one. You know what I'm saying? By the way, keep sending me your videos or whatever. I do appreciate the knowledge, and I always look into whatever you send to me, and I'm always sharing it here. But check this out. Check out what this person said.
Kids out of drag, and keep your kids out of our fucking gay clubs.
I saw that the other day. There was a video of these two kids walking down some drag show.
Yeah. So I'm sort of blending the two messages together because I think at some point they do come together. Obviously, when we're seeing 12-year-olds dressed as girls and women, stripping for gay men, throwing them dollar bills on a stage, it's just, I don't know why we have to, me as a homosexual has to tell people, keep your kids out of my life. You know, keep your kids innocent and pure as long as you can. And, you know, they'll discover their own sex life. They'll discover their own sexualities. And drag's not a sexuality. It's an art form.
What do you feel about the whole story hour, drag queen story hour?
Oh, I think it's stupid. I think it's damaging. I think it will actually lead to more confusion of gay children.
He said it, not me. He said it. He's a member, obviously, a member of that community. And he said, let the kids be kids. I don't like saying that word. I say, let the children be children. Kids are billy goats. I'm big on etymology, you know, but yeah, it just continues with destroying the youth. Okay. People act like, and you really can't say anything to people these days because they take offense to it. You know, and they be ready to fight. So people don't want to say anything anymore. When I was growing up, if you talk back to an adult, you was getting your ass whooped. If you disrespected an adult, you was getting your ass whooped. If you was fucking up in another neighborhood and one of your mamas or grandmother's friends saw you, when you got home, you was getting fucked up. Okay? My generation didn't play that. We respected our elders. We were taught that. You know, this generation is just, some people, like Tosh said, they shouldn't have kids. They shouldn't. And then, you know, they put half naked in prom. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's another whole subject also. Someone suggested the Soft White Underbelly channel to me, and there's nothing but traumatized kids in adult bodies. This is what happens to these children. Tosh, send it to me on Facebook. Send me the link. I'll check it out and we'll talk about it. But I usually get really sick to my stomach when I see children being subjected to nonsense. X-Files, good TV series. Yeah, they tell you everything in the X-Files and Fringe. A lot of motherfuckers don't have a clue. It's not easy to grasp in a day. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's not easy to grasp, and I can't fit it in 1 hour. I just can't. But like I said, I have when his site, Azazel site was up, I tried to buy every piece of information he had on it. He had that much information before he took it down and redid it. He reconstructed it, and he took a lot of stuff off of there. Luckily, I was able to get a whole bunch of it though. Every time I had extra money, I was buying his shit. I was going on there on his site and shopping. Is there any book that describes all extraterrestrial life forms? Any book? Let me think. Um, there's a book called can't think of the name of it. It's a series, and I might have a book. Let me see. Let's look. I might have a book. In my GURPS. In my role-playing games, there might be one. There's one though. There's one. The Matrix series. I knew it was gonna come to me eventually. The Matrix series. Let's see. Here is my GURPS. I know y'all think I'm saying something fucked up, but no. This is GURPS, my role-playing game books. And go into there. You got one on Atlantis. There's an extraterrestrial, maybe here. The Matrix is gonna be your best bet. Not in the 3rd edition books. I don't see anything there, but let's see. Yeah. The Matrix by I think his name is Valarian. It's like 5 or 6 books would explain the extraterrestrial life form. Also, if you're on Telegram, look into Azazel News. Okay, you're going to get a whole bunch of information there. I promise you. I've been promoting this site, if that's what you want to call it. I've been promoting that for forever now. It's that much information, and it's constantly coming. So, yeah, what the fuck? As a father, that shit don't sit right with me pouring liquor on a 3-year-old, period. It's worse that he is a father. Right. Exactly. Check out Stuart Swerdlow's books. But I want to say The Matrix, though. The Matrix by, I don't know if Valerian's the first name or the last name, but The Matrix. Yeah. And what Konami said. Heard I had one years ago. My pops gave me been trying to find it. My class was the last of normal school. I can't even imagine the fuckery. Let kids be kids, man. Aliens amongst us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I told you I got sick to my stomach watching that. Like, why are you pouring liquor on a 3-year-old? The fuckery continues. You know what else continues as far as the fuckery? I'm not sure who this person is, but check this out. Check this out right here.
Watch the show who are now following me. Just want to let y'all know I'm not a woman. Please stop calling me that. Please stop saying she, her. It's in my bio. I use they, them pronouns. Please stop following me. Watch the show who are now following me. Just want to let y'all know I'm not a woman. Please stop calling me that. Please stop saying she, her. It's in my bio. I use they, them pronouns. Please stop. Following me. Watch the show.
It just unending fuckery. And they use, now let me keep saying it, they use the celebrities to promote this kind of fuckery. You know, we're supposed to disregard all your body parts that show that you're a woman and say, that's a they. Mm. Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Oh, here's a clip I want to show y'all also of let's see. As soon as I can find it. Oh, here we go. Remember, one of Bobby's best lectures is here. We're gonna play it right now.
I don't know everybody, most of y'all are new audience. There's nothing wrong with that. He came down to introduce you to some information, to get you to a certain point, so you can go out on your own and become gods on your own. And there's a group of people that was in there that can't go beyond that, but that's all right. They couldn't go beyond it in the first place. There was a group of people, every group out here got a certain amount of gods, and they got a certain amount of people that has to belong to the group. Even in the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad said, we got scientists up in here, and I don't want no more believers. It's right in the damn theology of time. That's when he really started talking this shit. He said, I want gods. But there's a certain group of people that they can only take things face value, and they got to wait on Dr. York. Dr. York, I've even heard from one of the sisters that Dr. York even told the motherfuckers, God damn it, I'm waiting on y'all. He said this shit.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's real.
In some of the things, I'm waiting on y'all. Y'all supposed to do it.
Yeah, right.
He was giving the people the things because he understood. Okay, that was the group. And that's by way you came. I'm just saying though. That's by way you came by. Well, why are you here? If it's just a group. You go to Dr. York and tell Dr. York to teach you something.
Big brother.
No, I'm just trying to say, my point here is this. No, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Because that's exactly what I'm going to tell you, because the part of the first thing I'm going to tell you when I get into this thing in a few minutes is, in order for you to get to the other level, you got to renounce calling yourself anything down here related to a goddamn group.
Thank you.
Because you will be on the groups.
I agree.
And I'm going to tell you how the alchemical shit inside of your body lines up. Remember I told you before, if you say, I want to be a sinner, then the alchemical process inside of you lines up that way. Because ye are gods, and whatever you want to do, you got to do.
You're going to substitute too.
You're going to do it. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is this here. The man already done told you. Did he ever tell you in his teaching to shoot the gods? All the time. All right then. Then end the story. Now what we're talking about here is the level of the gods. You understand what I'm saying? So the point I'm trying to say here is the thing here. It is my ass. You got to come out of the groups. Because I'm trying to tell you, this stuff you don't line up based on groups on the mundane level. That's a part of your training.
I can feel that.
That's part of your training. I was a part of one of Dr. Ben's groups. I was one of his mystery systems. And that was good. I needed that at the time to learn a certain amount of Hermetic history and stuff like that. But I realized, hey, look, that's not the end all to be all.
Thank you.
Now, so there ain't nothing wrong with that. How can you come before something unless you join something at first? So that's what I'm trying to say. But the point I'm trying to make here is this here. When you go, they call it path working. That's when you rising up the system of spirituality. Right. And a path is your own journey.
Right, right.
The initiate has to go on its own journey. And you can't take nothing with you. Remember in the Star Wars, the motherfucker told him, he said, what's in that cave? He said, only what you take with you. He said, only what you take with you. I'm not saying that the man's stuff is wrong. All I'm trying to tell you is you at a level now that you got to make the decision. You at the goddamn crossroads. And the crossroads is, are you ready to go to the next level? Because guess what? I can't take you to the next level. You got to make that decision. Remember, in the Matrix, when they was in the dojo, and they was fighting, and the guy said, your problem is not in your technique. Why didn't you beat me? Why did I beat you? The problem is in here. So now, you see what I'm saying? You can't be no New Wabian. You can't be no Nation of Islam. You can't be none of that stuff. You got to be straight up chaos. Because you can't name it a name. When you name it a name, it dies. Melanin inside of you, every time the white boy extracts it, it dies. Melanin never stops moving. And chaos is what melanin is. Melanin is chaos in the blood. I told you that in the movie Phantoms. He said chaos, plain and simple. The rules of chaos, get the book, Condensed Chaos by Phil Hines. Condensed Chaos by Phil Hines. In the book, the first rule of chaos is change is supreme. And if you're not willing to change, then you die. You see what I'm saying? Or you just stay at the same level.
There you go.
And you want to go to the next level, you just stay at the next level. Because change is supreme.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. You know, there's a great example of pride, because I'm not talking about Bobby. I'm talking about the brothers who were constantly talking, trying to get their points in instead of listening. You know what I mean? You got to know when to listen. You know, nobody knows everything. Okay, you got to know when to listen to certain people. Again, discernment, who to listen to. See what I'm saying? And like Bobby said, you know, reading. I mean, reading certain books. Condensed Chaos is a great book. Phil Hine. Chaos Magic. I told you some people's paths. I was on that path one time. You know what I mean? It didn't speak to me that long, but you know, I went there for a little while. Let's see. Ruth Montgomery, Aliens Amongst Us. Okay, I got you. Psychosis. She lived like the character she played, confused. I don't even know what show that is. I think that's BMF, I think. I'm not sure. She had a beautiful dress on her hair was all cute, and he poured liquor on her. Did she cry? It didn't look like she cried. It looked like she just kind of like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? That's what it looked like she was doing. I don't want to keep showing it because I don't want to upset anyone. You know, she kind of turned around. She wasn't crying though. She was kind of laughing, but she's a child, you know, and he's pouring liquor on her. So, it's crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. There's a part of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth I want to show y'all. Okay, it's called The Secret of Secrets. This is one of the best books on magic to ever be assembled. It is attributed to the god Thoth. And there's a lot of wisdom in this book. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't able to highlight it, but here, now ye assemble, my children, waiting to hear the secret of secrets, which shall give ye power to unfold the God-man, give ye way to eternal life. Plainly shall I speak of the unveiled mysteries, no dark sayings shall I give unto thee. Open thine ears now, my children, hear and obey the words that I give. First, I shall speak of the fetters of darkness, which bind ye in chains to the sphere of the earth. Darkness and light are both of one nature, different only in seeming, for each arose from the source of all. Darkness is disorder, light is order. Darkness transmuted is light of the light. This, my children, your purpose in being, transmutation of darkness to light. Okay. Hear ye now the mystery of nature, the relations of life to the earth where it dwells. Know ye are threefold in nature, physical, astral, and mental in one. Three are the qualities of each of the natures, 9 in all, as above, so below. It continues. In the physical are these channels, the blood which moves in vertical motion, reacting on the heart to continue its beating. Magnetism, which moves through the nerve paths, carrier of energies to all cells and tissues. Akasa, which flows through channels, subtle yet physical, completing the channels. Each of the three is tuned with each other, each affecting the life of the body. Form they the skeleton framework through which the subtle ether flows. In their mastery lies the secret of life in the body, relinquished only by will of the adept when his purpose in living is done. 3 are the natures of the astral. Mediator is between above and below, not of the physical, not of the spiritual, but able to move above and below. 3 are the natures of mind, carrier it of the will of the great one, arbitrator of cause and effect in thy life. Thus is formed the threefold being, directed from above by the power of 4. Above and beyond man's threefold nature lies the realm of the spiritual self. 4 is it in qualities, shining in each of the planes of existence, but 13 and 1, the mystical number, 13. You heard Azazel mention it earlier. Based on the qualities of man are the brothers. Each shall direct the unfoldment of being. Each shall channels be of the great one. On earth, man is in bondage, bound by space and time to the earth plane. Encircling each planet, a wave of vibration binds him to his plane of unfoldment. Yet within man is the key to releasement. Within man may freedom be found. That is the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. Anyone who is wanting to be an adept of the occult art should have that book. Okay. Much wisdom in it. You know what I'm saying? What I just read was a piece of it. It's called The Secret of Secrets. It's towards the back of the book. Are y'all still here or did y'all stop talking? Is the chat moving or is it kicking y'all out? Somebody talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Please. It doesn't look like the chat has moved in a long time. Okay. Are y'all still here? I still see a couple people here, but can anyone say anything or type something? Yes. Type of 1. Oh, so it is freezing. Okay, I thought so. Sounds like you could pathwork the Emerald Tablet. Yes, you can. You absolutely can. It is that good. It is that deep. You know what I mean? It is that good. Like I said, that is information you need to know. Spiritual working, path working, shadow work, all of this has to do with ascending, an ascension, spiritual ascension. You know what I mean? You saw what it said in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. On earth, this is bondage. So before you leave here, you need to know certain things so that you can continue your journey. Have you ever heard of the volunteers? I'm going to play a clip, just a clip. Just a clip. It's called the volunteers. Again, remember, they always got to tell you all of this stuff. Cosmic law, universal law. Check this out. If this don't blow your mind, I don't know what else will. I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's called the volunteers.
Tell me, out of everything you've ever done, what's the craziest experience you've ever had?
That's easy. Earth.
Earth? You went to Earth?
I did.
No way. You were a human?
I was.
Wow. Are the stories about Earth true? Were they really trapped on Earth?
Some were. I know because I was one of the volunteers.
Wait a second. You volunteered to go to Earth?
I did. I had to. I had family trapped on Earth.
But how could you get trapped on Earth?
You had to be there to understand. On Earth, you wouldn't remember anything.
What do you mean you wouldn't remember anything?
I mean, you would have no memory of anything. You wouldn't even remember existing before Earth.
What? How is that possible?
It was designed that way. It was brilliant. To dive as deeply as possible into such ignorance, such darkness, and still find your way back to remembering who you were. That took true mastery.
Wow. I still can't believe you went to Earth. Tell me more.
Well, Earth had its own set of laws that everyone agreed to experience, like gravity. What goes up must come down, like linear time. Day is followed by night.
Time? What's time?
You know how when we think of something, it manifests instantly? Well, on Earth, there was a delay. The delay is what made Earth so difficult.
Interesting. Time. So tell me more.
Before going to Earth, you would choose your family, whether you wanted to be male or female, what race you wanted to be, the location on the planet, things like that.
Oh, so you could choose your own character.
Exactly. You would enter the Earth as a baby and be completely dependent on others to teach you the rules. But since nobody could remember the rules, they made up their own rules, based on fear and giving your power away to others.
That doesn't sound like much fun.
It wasn't for everyone.
What'd you do while portions of you were on Earth?
I watched them. It was pretty funny.
What was so funny?
Here were these magnificent beings, playing the most unique and cutting-edge experience in the universe, and they were clueless. I tried to guide them as much as possible.
Wait a second. You could communicate with them?
Yes, but they couldn't hear me. I would show them synchronicities, or send them impulses to help guide them, but they couldn't see the signs.
Why not?
They didn't trust themselves.
So is that why they sent out a call for help?
Exactly.
Is that when you went?
No, I didn't go until later. First volunteers, they had it the worst.
What do you mean, had it the worst?
Well, they killed them.
What?
They killed.
So I'm gonna stop there. That's called the volunteers. It goes on for about 5 more minutes. You know what I mean? All of this stuff has been put out there for you to pick up and learn. Okay. Most people are too lazy to read, you know. There are miles of books that are hidden from you. Miles of books that are hidden from you. Okay. If reading was so unimportant, why are they hiding books? Why are they banning books now? Books that I grew up reading, like To Catch in the Rye and To Kill a Mockingbird. You know what I mean? Native Son. All these books are starting to be banned. Why? Lord of the Flies. See what I'm saying? It is up to you to learn your path and why you are here. You have a purpose here. Remember I'm saying that? The movie Soul with Jamie Foxx, I couldn't believe what I was seeing when I saw that. You know what I mean? Me, I can remember all the way until I think 3. I remember having astral travels, you know, in the house, me literally out of my body. I remember stuff like that. Every place I have ever been to as an adult, I had seen before. You know what I mean? Some of us catch on quicker than others. All right. Some spend their whole entire life being indoctrinated by religion and other nonsense. They have to reincarnate and come back and learn this shit again. Y'all still with me? Y'all all right? I read that book and literally each year find new ways to work with that book. That's what I'm talking about. That's the same thing that I say, Legacy Sigma, about the Voodoo Gnostic work. It's cool. I'm listening. And Anuma Elish, exactly. I think we was all listening. Okay, got you. All right. Anuma Elish, yes. This is why I spend so much time. I spend so much time studying ancient civilizations. This is why I spend so much time. It's so much to unpack and uncover in the way those people lived, who their guys were, their origins, all of that is relevant to today. It's all relevant. Okay. This is why I teach it. You know? Like I said, it's a lot to unpack. I saw that clip on some page on Instagram. It is on YouTube now. It's called The Volunteers. You can easily find it. You know what I mean? I might get in trouble for showing it, but you can easily find it. I didn't agree to come here. I damn sure didn't agree to be black, the hardest mode of all time. Tosh, I ain't gonna lie. When I think of that, I'm like, did I really agree to go through this shit? Did I really agree to be ridiculed and mocked for being intelligent? And for all the shit I've been through during my time here, did I agree to all of that? It doesn't seem that way. It does not seem that way. I'm perfectly honest. But all these ancient texts and all this information that's been left behind does point there. You know, it's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. You got some kind of purpose here. Something. But I like that response, Tosh. I do. That's why I laughed. I totally feel that way sometimes. As a matter of fact, I feel that way a lot of times. Super late, been out of here, busy at work, but I seen that. What's going on, Brother Moore? We got sucked into reincarnation. We all here. Join the team. Right. There's a 15-minute version too. And if you didn't agree to come here as you are, who else had the power to send you here? Excuse me. That clip sounds like some page from the ancient Gnostics. This is why I also suggest the Gnostics text, the Nag Hammadi Library. There's a bunch of information you need to know there. From the Book of Adam, the Book of Thomas, hell, the Book of Clarence. You know what I mean? The Gnostics, those were the true deal, the real deal Christians before they killed them off. You know what I mean? So swallow your pride, learn. It is up to you to educate yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. Okay? Pride cometh before the fall. It really does. Look at I ain't gonna say her name, but there's a certain celebrity out right now who's going viral trying to do stuff at this age. But anyway, of course I had more clips, and of course I didn't get to them. I actually remember my last memory of the place before this room and my first memory here vividly. See, some people can do that. Some people can do that. You know, I only remember to around the age of 3. That's what I remember. I feel like it's inevitable that I have to come back again because I was forced, raised Seventh-day Adventist, and nothing makes a lot of sense ever to me. Peace, Technique Twin. I feel you, my Cherie. Past life memories more stronger when we children. Yeah, absolutely. We signed the contract to be here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, if y'all remember the guest I had on here about a month ago, Teresa Angela, very light-skinned practitioner. I think she does past life regression hypnosis, if I'm not mistaken. That's the technique by which people do remember. Also, of course, what I am always going to suggest is getting with some of these deities to remember past lives. Okay. Anyway, we shall to be continued. This has been a great discussion. Yeah, to be continued. Things still look down, to be quite honest. Every time I look, there's something, there's something on social media will drain the fuck out of you. You know, I keep up because I need to keep up. I need to know what's going on, even though I'm not a part of it. And like Bobby said, you got to get out of these groups. You will never see me a part of any conscious community groups or esoteric groups or magic group. I'm solo, pretty much solo. Always have been. I've never felt right in groups. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, thanks for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. It is, like I said, is a hot one here in Texas. Get your spirituality on, get your magic on. There are some real teachers out there, some real mentors that you can learn from. Okay. Don't be prideful. Know that you don't know everything and you may need help in this area. You just heard the volunteers. You see what I'm saying? Cosmic law, they gotta tell you everything. Have to. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see y'all back here next time, probably Thursday. That's usually how I do it, right? I am the one and only, the infinite, the magical, mystical, sorceress, hilarious, the undeniable, the diabolical, Magic LaCroix. As I greet you in peace. Namaste. Peace, y'all.